Hello humans, I welcome you to the realm of the online gamer, a place where social rules blend with new graphics and technologies to create a culture that is able to exist because of the wonders of the internet.
It's like to be a gamer. To be honest, it's kind of grown on to me. It's kind of casual. I don't really think too much about it, I guess, unless I'm not around people who aren't gamers. But whenever you find another gamer, you kind of think about it a lot more. But for me, it's really casual.
Hi, I'm Spencer, and I'm a gamer.
Culture is dynamic. Video game sales are expected to grow from $66 billion worldwide in 2010 to $81 billion by 2016, according to DFC Intelligence, a market research company. Not only is video gaming culture dynamic, but the video games themselves are also dynamic, as seen in this clip.
Through its randomly generated world, every time you brave Sanctuary's vast wilds or ancient dungeons, you will find scores of unique foes, random events, a trap, and fabled artifacts.
Video games are a globalized industry where gamers can socialize with other gamers around the world via the internet.
Yeah, I mean, especially when I was playing World of Warcraft, the servers are not necessarily regional based, so I was playing with someone from Guatemala or from Europe, or there was one guy I remember that was from Australia that we'd talk to each other over a voice program, so you could always hear his accent.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have friends from Japan and Portugal too, just from online gaming and international gaming and stuff. It's really fun just because like what brings us together is usually games, not anything else. Like, there's a huge language barrier, but the game pretty much connects us. It's like, for me, my friend from Portugal, I have to wake up like an hour early just to play with her, or maybe like 2 hours earlier. But then usually by the time it's like the usual time I play games, she's usually offline, so I guess what makes it different is just the time zones and changing your schedule just so you can play games with them.
Governance in online gaming culture monitors socially deviant behaviors exhibited by gamers.
Interesting question, because there's a lot of social norms that are social norms in video games can be very different than social norms elsewhere. The people that tend to play video games, not all of them, maybe only half of them or even less than that, aren't as socially inept as the normal population percentage-wise. And when those people tend to have a situation where they don't have someone face-to-face, they tend to be ruder. And so definitely in there was a game I used to play called League of Legends, which for sure was called LOL. There was definitely a large population of that group that played that game that were very rude and would yell at each other. And
like via the headset?
Not via headset as much. It'd be mostly typing.
Okay.
Because you wouldn't have necessarily that direct connection.
Interesting.
I would use voice connection with people, but only people I knew when I played that game. Most of the time when I was speaking to people I didn't know, I was typing. And for me, I would ignore them. I wouldn't even respond to them if they said anything mean. But a lot of them were just trying to get attention and get reactions out of people, and just would yell very, very mean things, a lot of times racist things.
Okay.
And that's just, that game had that sort of connotation to it, because it was a more competitive game, and every loss you had kind of brought you lower in the game, and every one brought you higher. So, and it was a team game. You had to play as a team. So if your team wasn't doing well, it was always, oh, my team is making me lose. It's not me. I'm a good player. It's always my team's fault. And so it kind of pitted that problem.
Depends what games are coming out every year. Like, if a new console comes out, probably like $500 plus the new games that come out with it. But if it's just like a new game coming out, which is around this year and I guess last year, I spent around like $300 a year, around that much.
Like $16 a month to play, which seems like a lot for a video game after initial cost of like $60.
So there's like a starter fee.
There's like you have to buy the game and you have to pay per month.
I see.
But it doesn't seem so bad when you realize how much you actually play the game and how much you spend getting entertainment from the game, because I spent a huge amount of time per month playing the game and getting entertainment from the game, which was much more worth than just $16 worth. If I had spent that money watching, seeing movies in theaters, I would have spent a huge amount more money. I don't know how much money trying to use the same amount of time.
Yeah. So it definitely, like, when you look at it at a different perspective.
If you look at a different perspective, it's not so bad. And I mean, if you're buying a new game every week, then yes, it's an expensive pastime. Okay. But there's also a lot of fairly good games that a common thing now is to have a game that's totally free, and usually these are online games that are for the computer. Most of the time I'm playing computer games on the computer. Okay. I also have a Wii, and I don't play as many online games with the Wii, but on the computer I play mostly online games. Okay. And currently the game I'm playing is Diablo 3, which just came out recently.
Games, shooting games, tactical games, pretty much everything besides pretty much everything. I play pretty much everything. Final Fantasy, League of Legends. What else is there? Dragon Quest, Super Mario, a lot of old school games as well. Super Smash Brothers. Kind of good friends, just from online experiences and just video games and stuff. Like, we plan to meet up in real life and stuff. I met one person who I'm actually going to see next weekend again, but we're actually really good friends. It turns out that he lived really close by me, and we're like, oh, we should meet up and I don't know, catch up in real life and stuff, and we're doing that recently, so, I don't know, it's really cool.
I was playing a lot of a game called World of Warcraft, which was very time-consuming, and definitely my relationships with other people suffered during that time. My schoolwork, I have to say, would never suffer. I always put my schoolwork first, and I always made sure I stayed active in other things, but definitely certain relationships definitely suffered from that.
I just really connect with the fact that we both play video games a lot, and I wouldn't be dating him if it wasn't for the fact that we played video games. I don't know, that's just a huge, what's the word, connection in our relationship, pretty much. Let's see, I guess just to, take a break from reality. It's kind of like escapism from, the world that we live in now, I guess. Whenever I'm just bored, I play a video game, or if I just want to escape some problems, play a video game to get my mind off things. But it's also because throughout my childhood, just video games has been a part of my life, and it kind of grew onto me. But that's pretty much it.
The online gaming subculture emerged and is able to persist not only through the internet and the development of new technologies, but also through its easy transmission, socially structured governance, and a lack of geographical space. Go ahead and be a Jedi or a demon hunter. Online games will enhance the way you socialize with people around the world and the way you see the gaming culture.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.